Hey everybody, it's Lisa Young Sutton with video number 4 of the Strengthening Your Core Foundational Series. And to quickly recap, in video 1 we went over the core meanings of the cards, those little things that I call primary vibes. Video 2 introduced the reading process with the 3-card line. As you can see, you have three 3-card lines here. And video 3 introduced you to vertical interactions with a 5-card cross. There it is. And now we are ready to dive into tableaus, which begins with the mini tableau, more commonly known as the box spread, or the portrait spread is another name for it. Okay, so I made a short video recently on how a 3-card line becomes a 5-card cross, becomes a 9-card box, becomes a 36-card tableau, and I will link that in the description box below. So for this video, we'll focus on the box spread. Now, why do we call it a mini tableau? Well, it is the smallest of the tableaus. It has all the tableau elements. It has rows, right? It has horizontal rows. It has vertical columns, and it has diagonal lines, and you can knight. This is the first time you'll be knighting, right? Like in this tableau, I'll be knighting the stars, which knights to the clover in the book. And you can also mirror the cards. Now, mirroring is where you pair cards on opposite ends of a tableau, right? So you'd be mirroring the rider and the clover. You can mirror the rider and the cross. You can mirror the rider in the book. And you won't see me mirroring today because it's just something I don't really do. And it's a perfectly valid technique. It's just not one I use. So, but if you are in the habit of doing it, go ahead. All right. Now, so what is the secret to understanding this spread? Well, I think the secret is to view it as a little tableau for a single theme. Now, that theme is either the question you're asking if you are only laying a box spread, or the theme is the life area card that you are searching for in a GT in order to read the cards around it. Okay, so that would be that theme card you're looking for, that life area card you're looking for in a grand tableau. That is the theme. Or if you just ask a question and are only laying your 9 cards out, then the theme is your question. Okay? Now, you know, when there are a lot of cards on the table, the more cards in front of you, the more important it is to be organized and to stay focused to keep from getting lost. And following my KISS method, that's keep it short and simple, you want a clear understanding of what you are looking for and the method you will use to find it. You want to be clear on that before you even touch the cards. So here are some simple guidelines. When laying a box to answer a specific question, decide first whether you'll be interpreting the box as a narrative, what I call a story box, or as a descriptive box. And I'm going to show you both today. Then you'll be able to jump right in and break down the spread, and the reading will flow easily. Now, when you're reading boxes in a grand tableau, I always start with a narrative. And I'll then, if it's called for, go back in and look at the cards as descriptors, okay? Because the boxes in a grand tableau are a combination of narrative and descriptive. So, you know, here, that's the art of tableau reading. Okay, it's the art of card reading, I should say. It's science and art. All right. So for a narrative question, just remember how you're reading and what direction are you reading. I call it the flow of energy. It moves from left to right and from top to bottom. So gravity makes what's above heavier than what's below. And the energy as you move ahead from left to right gets stronger. Okay, so if you understand which cards carry more weight, it'll make more sense to you. So let's start with a narrative box. Okay, so I'm going to recap the vertical interactions from the last video. We went over this in the 5-card cross video. The cards above can be seen as what's out of your control or what's impacting or influencing the situation or what's weighing heavy on the situation or heavy on your mind. Here we're reading around a person, so we could say this is heavy on her mind, right? The cards below can be viewed as what's under your control, what's supporting the situation, or what you already have a good perspective on. Okay? The cards in the horizontal rows are read as a sentence or a story. Okay? So now this box here is one I pulled out of a grand tableau that I am reading for a woman, and we are going to call her Crystal. She is Crystal Ball, okay? So now she is in the midst of a spiritual awakening and has a lot of questions. So the entire tableau that I am reading for her is full of spiritual advice, right? And answers to all her questions about what she's going through. Okay, so it's very much a spiritual reading. All right, now I could have just as easily have asked what she needs to know about her current spiritual path, and I could have placed her in the center and just laid a box. But like I said, this is already part of a grand tableau, so I just pulled her box because she had a full complement of cards around her. So I just pulled it out of her tableau and put it here for the just for the example for the video. Okay. So I could also have asked that question, that same question, and not put her in the center, right? I could have chosen to lay a box asking that question without a pre-selected center card, in which case the center card that fell naturally would tell me what the main focus is or the heart of the matter, right? So there are different ways of doing it. But I know I've already said that when you're first starting, it's very helpful, because I know this is the way I used to do it, to pre-select, and lay that center card there, because it gives you something to focus on. So if you're just starting, it's definitely a good way of doing it. All right, so let's read this. Let's start reading these rows. Okay, so what's arriving, right? The rider is something arriving, right? So what's arriving is exciting yet chaotic. It's like constant thoughts about new opportunities or taking chances or how to ease up and throw caution to the wind, right? Her spiritual path, that's the star. Okay, did I name the cards? Rider, birds, clover. Okay, her spiritual path, I'm getting that from the star, opened up to her, right? Remember, we're reading left to right, but it's met with her long-standing and firmly established mainstream beliefs and societal conformity, things like that. Here we have the tower here. Okay? People undergoing spiritual awakenings often feel isolated as well, so we could throw that in. Now, she does have ambition to reach the top, and one of her questions was how to best receive messages from the cards. Now, let me just jump right to the column there, because look at this column. The book represents the cards, because she's getting involved in card reading, right? Now, weighing on the cards are the many layers of learning. This is also the card of learning, right? There's many layers before she reaches the top of her game, as well as a length of time to get there. This is the longevity card. Towers take a long time to build, right? They also last a long time. It's the card of something long-standing, right? Okay, but what's weighing on the tower? The clover, telling her to be more carefree in her approach and not so rigid, okay? Now, this is why it's important to know what carries more weight, right? So even though this is your final card, this is your exit card, these cards are weighing down on it. Okay? All right. Okay, so let me see. What else could the clover above that be saying? It could be also telling her to seize those little opportunities that arise to practice when she's feeling really good and grounded and not worrying about the outcome. Because the clover is a grounded card. I mean, think about clovers. It's a little plant close to the ground. It springs out of the ground, okay? So you can see that there are many layers to reading these cards. All right, no, I mean, don't forget, she's got worries above her head. All right, here our music is getting loud again. This happened last time. Okay, now, I know I jumped to a column, but let's get back to the row. Yeah, we still have to read this row. So the bottom row says that she is dragging some baggage as we begin this bottom row with, this is what I call the hidden issue space, all right? Is she concerned with religion's view of what she's getting involved in? Could be. Is she thinking that this is a big responsibility that she's undertaking? Could be, right? Now it's followed by the anchor. So she's going to be focused on her burdens for a while. She's going to be anchored here as we move across, right? She's going to be anchored here for a while. Until she learns more, right? There's the learning card. And at the same time, this is the card of determination and perseverance, right? So she, through her determination, she's going to continue, right? With her quest to learn the magical arts, right? Because this, when I have the star and the book in the same little box here, that refers to the magical arts. Isn't that amazing? Because that is what she asked about. Okay, I mean, the stars, knights to the book and the clover. Okay. All right, so let's look at the columns. So the rider is bringing to her this successful new path, and it's crushing the cross. These cards are weighing down on this cross, okay? Now, this makes me think of, this is the alternate diagonal, I call it. This is my primary diagonal line. This is my alternate. This is like, you know, what's behind the scenes more. So I just want to point this out. I mean, look at this little happy clover up here in the corner, and look what happens to it as it passes through her. Ugh, it winds up heavily burdened, okay? And that really says a lot about what energy she's got clogged inside of her, you know, that this clover, as it passes through her, winds up here. Okay, but her primary diagonal line shows that this rider is going to continue to bring her new information, which will lead to more questions and more learning, and, you know, on and on it's going to go. All right. So when you look at this final card, remember to look at the 3 cards that are touching it. Okay. So we have organization and a length of time weighing on this. Remember, this is the card of card reading, right? So we have getting organized and many layers to reach the top, many levels to go through, right? Length of time, weighing on it. Okay, here's her connected to it. And you can also see that she's above it, yet she's to the left, right? So we know above is a stronger energy, to the left is weaker. So that weakens her a bit, right? That makes this one stronger. And what's behind her goal. This is her goal and her hopes of mastering these cards, okay? And also continuing on with this spiritual path. okay, and figuring it all out, getting all the answers to all the unknowns that she's looking at right now. Okay. So, I mean, we could summarize this box by saying that she's going to continue on this path, right? This new path that's opened up to her. She's going to continue on it. But she needs to lighten up a bit because she's got the birds above her head, but this clover is up here telling her to lighten up a bit. She's got control over this goal, right? But this is her hidden issue. She needs to release her worries and know that this is going to take time, but it's worth it, okay? Because the star is telling her to keep going, all right? Okay, now let's quickly look at a descriptive box. So understand that the boxes you read in a GT, as I think I already said, are both narrative and descriptive. And for me, the narrative reading is always the first layer, and then I look at the cards as descriptors to see what fits, okay? So, you know, I think that the best thing for you guys to do is to start experimenting. I mean, lay grand tableaus for nobody. I mean, just as you're shuffling those cards, tell the cards, say, listen, this is just for learning. This is just for practice. Give me, you know, decide who your seeker is, if it's going to be the man or the woman, and decide if they're, you know, who the partner card is, maybe, but make it up. And just so you can practice, because you got to practice, practice, practice. All right, and people keep saying to me, I don't have enough questions. I don't know enough people to read for. Start making it up. It's just for you to get in the habit of breaking down these grand tableaus. Okay. There's zero pressure when you do that. And believe me, I did it for, oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how many made-up grand tableaus I've worked through just for the practice. And that's probably how I got so good at it, because there was no pressure at all. I just had a good time. All right, so let's lay a descriptive box. Let's just make one up here. You know what? I'm going to ask, let's ask, oh, this is going to be funny. Wait, hang on. We're going to ask what Father Ted is going to get for Christmas. What is Father Ted going to get for Christmas? Oh, wait. Oh, we could do it like this. All right. Hang on. We're going to do, he's going to get, oh, wait, I know. Oh, yeah, of course. Father Ted. All right, here we go. And here's a good example of a made-up spread. All right, this is no one's spread. We can just have fun with it. Okay, it's not a real question. All right, so what is Father Ted going to get for Christmas? Remember, this is a descriptive spread, so all of the cards are just describing that center card. So we'll say that I placed this in the center. It's the bouquet to represent his gifts, okay, what he's going to receive for Christmas. Now, reading these cards only as descriptors, I follow the same technique every time I read a box. I pair the cards, the what do you want to call these? The opposing cards as they pass through the center. So I pair this card with this one with this one, not this one. It didn't pass through the center card, right? Do you see what I'm doing? So I pair these two, I pair these two, I pair these two, and I pair these two. All right, so what is he getting for Christmas? We could say he's getting nail clippers. Sorry, as I crack myself up. Okay, yeah, you know, because the rider as a descriptor can be feet, right? And hooves. He's got to trim his hooves. Nails, right? Yeah, so, and here, this is a sharp object. So he's getting nail clippers. He's going to get a new dog or a puppy. Right, here's child and dog. He's going to get a puppy. He's going to get nail clippers. He's going to get clouds and clover. Okay, we'll call that cigars. He's either getting cigars or weed. And he's going to get a new Bible, right? Book and cross. Okay? Now that is how you can read a purely descriptive cross. box where all of the cards are only being used as descriptors. Okay? So that is it, my friends. The next video will take you from the 9-card box to the 25-card Petit Tableau. Oh my gosh, and you know what's after that. All right. Anyway, it's Christmas week, and I am wishing everyone watching a peaceful and joyous holiday. Don't drink too much eggnog, and I hope that Santa brings you all more cards to play with. Woo! Go Santa, go Santa, go Santa, go Santa. Okay, everybody, bye, and thanks for watching.